So we had this discussion, I want to say it was about a year ago,
Yeah.
where we were talking about the battle between DC Comics and Hasbro over the licensing rights of the trademark of Bumblebee. For those that are unaware of what we're talking about a year ago, DC Comics started pretty much working on their whole brand with the DC superhero girls, and to them, their character that they really wanted to push from the Afro, they wanted to balance out all the different characters and minorities and everything like that. So they're like, well, we have this character Bumblebee that we've had since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going to be our black girl character for our DC superhero girls thing. And so they were really pushing that about a year ago with their DC superhero girls TV series, the books, the dolls, everything. While on the Hasbro side of things, they were working on that Bumblebee movie.
Yep.
And they knew what was going to be coming this year and everything. And so they were doing that, and there was a clash there. And then there was that huge argument because DC Comics, while they created the Bumblebee character first, as in the black girl Bumblebee superhero character, Hasbro was the one that actually trademarked the name, because the character of Bumblebee in DC, while it was in the comics, they never thought to trademark it. They didn't, from a merchandising standpoint. I mean, not to mention what was merchandising for DC even in the 70s. It wasn't, the Superpowers toy line didn't even really get steam until then. And then you have only like the Mego dolls. Like, that's a whole other topic in itself. But it's just they weren't really thinking about trademarking that character back then, where in 1983 specifically, that's when Hasbro filed their patent for Bumblebee and all of that stuff. So that whole battle has been going on all this time since a year ago, since we've been talking. Apparently today we've come to finally a resolution.
Woo!
Now they haven't really disclosed the complete specifics of it, because supposedly it was a private settlement that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, according to this, and this is according to comicbook.com, apparently that DC's attorneys delivered a settlement notice in court privately. So it sounds like DC had to do a settlement with Hasbro, which again, like I said, probably what I said a year ago, from a legal standpoint makes sense.
Oh, mind you, the source is from Variety.
From Variety, but
the the article we're reading.
The article we're reading is from comicbook.com. If you guys want to read along. And they
source from Variety.
And again, it kind of goes into what I was saying before, where DC technically did create it first, but they didn't file anything. In the same way that, like, I mean, if Marvel had a character in the background, that was named, I don't know, the Green Wrench, and that character has been kicking, and I only said Green Wrench because I just looked at my mini cons and just saw a green character. I was like, anyways. But that character was in the background for years and years, and it was just a character that was there. And then finally they decided to make a movie, but during that time someone else patented and trademarked it. Then that's a whole different story. So it looks like DC's having to shell out some kind of money here, but it looks like they're both going to be able to use the name.
Yeah, it's basically the judge threw it out after receiving the settlement notice from DC's attorneys, basically. Yeah. So it was like, we don't need to keep doing this. Da, da, da. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
So something was agreed. We don't know what it is. Could be maybe even like, like it could be a licensing thing. It could be maybe a percentile thing, or maybe it might be a yearly thing where they're like, look, we'll let you use the name Bumblebee. And you have to understand DC stuff is done through Mattel. So it's more so also like, because the whole fight really is about merchandising. Mm-hmm. Which is it really is. It's about the Bumblebee, the Black Girl Bumblebee dolls, the Black Girl Bumblebee DC superhero action figures,
the little Lego minifigs.
The minifigs, yeah, exactly. So it's all about that really more than anything. So it's more Hasbro having to deal with DC and go, look, we know what you need to make and stuff, and again, it's a rival company too. So it's like, we want a piece of the pie, and to them, and it's funny too, because I don't know, maybe you would know this better than I do, but is there another, and I don't know if we had that discussion last time, is there another big, or not even big, but just another like good headliner female black character from the DC side of things.
I think we did talk about
we did talk about it because I remember like I brought up Icon's sidekick.
Rocket? If I remember her name.
So
I think there's what's her name? Vixen. There's Vixen.
It's true, yeah, they could have done Vixen.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, you want to make her young. You want to make her like
Vixen.
Vixen's not really like a young girl character. She's more like, hey, I'm a Vixen. I take all my powers that I think, if I remember right, I take the powers of the spirits of animals or something like that and use them to my advantage.
Yeah, she uses them in like
and I wear
like
a very
JoJo
low cut
stand kind of thing.
and I use a very low cut,
Well, I mean,
that's how they usually draw her. So I can't.
They could always redesign the character. I mean,
yeah, but
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. My DC knowledge is not as strong. My Marvel knowledge is.
I'm just saying that you wouldn't. It's not like, okay, we're going to take this character named Vixen and make her a teenager. That's a lot of flags.
I guess so.
That's a lot of
I think probably the name right away would have been the first flag. You're probably right.
Exactly. Like you just wouldn't do that.
It's just like I mean for them to like I mean it's not like they're fighting over Wonder Woman here. You know what I mean? No. And it's like and again, no offense to any like DC Bumblebee fans, but it's like it's not like she was like some super top tier character that they needed to fight for. It's me going like, was it worth that fight? Was there someone else they could have put instead, or is it just they've already put so much time and money and investment in creation?
Exactly.
I think it's more than anything. Yeah, at this point where I think it was Hasbro going like, look, this isn't a problem now, but it's going to be a problem later. Yeah. When we do this movie.
And also if you own the name and the rights for it first, you kind of want to keep up with it, and especially when you're trying to push something later on.
Yeah, and especially I know Hasbro, they're going to want to get as much cream from that as they can, so that's definitely one of the things too. But so it looks like they're going to be able to coexist. There's some kind of settlement that we're probably never going to know the true numbers of, but something's going on that allows both of these to coexist fine. And
one thing I do like about that article though from comicbook.com is the fact that they say like you can't like I mean understanding the legalese about it that's why they're fighting, but no one's really gonna I would hope no one's gonna get confused between a giant transforming robot and a black superhero that could shrink. If a little girl's like, I want Bumblebee, it's like, well, which one? You have to specify now.
Yeah. I think it's just more so I want to feel it's just more so just like Hasbro just going like, yeah, people aren't going to mix stuff up, but we still own that name. And I think it's just them going like, it's I don't want to. It's like the Haim Saban. I want my money. Haim Saban, the co-creator of Power Rangers, very when something he owns, if he could get a piece of it, he will. And so I just feel like that it's one of those Haim Saban scenarios. I just feel like that just if they could get their money, they want to get their money. So it's they don't it's one of those things like there's no morality in this. It's not like we're not going to play fair. It's like if we could get some money from Mattel, we're going to get some money from Mattel. So it's I think it's more so one of those things too. But yeah, hey, everything's fine. So we're going to be going into December with no problems for that at least.